conference.
All right, a couple more real quick. Let's go to Timothy in Lubbock. You're on Sick'em 365 Radio.
Yeah, how you doing today?
Doing great, Timothy. Thanks for your time and call.
Okay, I got something for y'all I want y'all to think about. So we got all this confusion about everything that everybody wants to do. Have y'all ever imagined Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC, but what if Notre Dame chose to change the whole game and join the Big 12 so they can be the main attraction in the Big 12? And getting somebody like Utah or Colorado or maybe Utah and Oregon, and so you got Notre Dame, Utah, and Oregon. Because remember, the dude from Rock Nation is coming. And from what I heard, he's a billionaire. Like, from what I heard, he has a lot of money. So what if the game changed? Nobody's even thinking about this. They talk about Notre Dame being a big piece. But what if Notre Dame actually said, you know what, we could do something with the Big 12 and change the whole game up? Have y'all ever even thought about that?
You know, Craig brought it up earlier, is that everybody's kind of waiting, and thanks for your call, Timothy. But I think for Notre Dame to do that, they would have to be guaranteed to be making as much money as they would in any other place they went. So they'd have to get that money. Plus, the Big 12, though, the Big 12 would probably be the conference that would provide them that landing spot and let them have their own TV deal. What would happen with Notre Dame if they win the Big 10 or the SEC is their little exclusivity with NBC goes away as soon as that contract's up.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. Or
you negotiate it to where NBC's a part of it, and you get like a little, hey, this is Notre Dame exception here because they're going to bring all this money, so they get this exception, and they're the only ones that can get this one, but they can because of the NBC deal. But yeah, but I mean, they and again, Notre Dame, if they figure they don't really even have to do this, no matter if they're super conferences, if it can be 68 teams and Notre Dame with their own rules, Notre Dame's going to do that.
Notre Dame's not going to go into a conference or join a conference until it's to a point where they have no other choice, and they might never get to that point.
Yeah, and I actually have seen, a little scuttlebutt and giving it some thought. I mean, the Big 12 would have to make so many concessions. I don't even know how the Big 12 would make any money. They would have to give so many concessions to Notre Dame to convince them. They'd have to say, like, you're getting a 95% chunk of the TV deal. Guys, they'd have to do that because where else are they going to get the money to even match what Notre Dame could potentially make elsewhere, right? So you'd basically have to give up all that you're worth just to satisfy them enough to join the conference, and I don't know what that does for the rest of them. Like, yes, that would flip everything on its head, like you said, but it just doesn't seem all that realistic because they don't have any, rivals like they would in the Big Ten currently, or like the ones they could make in the ACC or would have in the ACC. The Big 12's just kind of, I don't know, man. It's in a weird spot right now with the Pac-12 stuff swirling and the ACC alliance talking all that. I mean, the Big 12 is in a really precarious position and not necessarily one with a strong hand. Even if they might have had it just 24 hours ago, they don't necessarily do it right now. I don't think that's enough for, again, the Notre Dame for the Big 12 to be attractive. They're just not attractive enough, or they have enough ammo.
We need to take a break. When we come back, Sam